Overall, the Oklahoma wheat crop is in decent shape right now. We have gotten a little bit of moisture recently, a little bit in northwestern Oklahoma. That's probably my area of greatest concern right now is northwestern Oklahoma. The drought is slowly creeping back in. As temperatures warm, we get into the 70s and 80s, our wheat crop really uses a lot of moisture, and that's a very critical time. That's a time when we can lose yield in a hurry and go backwards in a hurry. So from now until about mid-May, we are going to need rainfall, and we are going to need rainfall in a timely manner to go ahead and finish this crop out. So the freezing temperatures we had here in mid to late March has had some effect on our wheat crop, especially in southern Oklahoma. It got really cold. There is some freeze injury out there. I've heard of some yellowing wheat associated with freeze injury, but by and large we escaped with minimal damage. I'm sure you can go out there and find some injury, but as far as overall impact of the crop, not that much injury. And that's the case normally with March freezes. Usually the bark is much worse than the bite. We still have time to produce additional tillers and recover slightly. The real test though will be last week of March, first couple of weeks of April. If we get a freeze into April, we don't bounce back from those. We're still about 2 weeks ahead of schedule in terms of our wheat crop. That's really why the freeze event was such a scare for us, because we were ahead of schedule. I think the amount of moisture that we had in the soil really helped us out and helped us dodge that bullet. We look to continue to remain ahead of schedule. Of course, it just really depends on temperatures throughout the remainder of the growing season.
For the last 3 or 4 weeks now, diseases have become more prevalent, particularly stripe rust has become more prevalent in southwestern Oklahoma. Across western, as you move up further to the north, it's spotty, but there's hot pockets of it through central Oklahoma and south central Oklahoma. There's 2 different rusts that can come into Oklahoma, stripe rust and leaf rust. And stripe rust is the rust that usually comes first because it does much better in cooler temperatures. Now, we had some early infections of stripe rust in this variety here. We also had very heavy aphid infestations in this trial, and you can see the yellowing in the plot that is partly from the stripe rust but also due to the heavy aphid infestation. For the foliar diseases, there's fungicides that can be used, but the fungicides, you want to make sure that you put them on early enough, sufficiently early, that you're protecting the yield and the test weight that you have there, because a fungicide cannot bring that back. You have to have it on there before the disease gets very severe on the crops.